Zoom F3 32-bit float audio interface review. I recently got the Zoom F3 to replace my Zoom H4n Pro, which was malfunctioning. And of course, I need a reliable audio interface because I record audio for pretty much everything I do. So I'm going to review the F3 in this video. And if you enjoy the review, don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Let's start with the physical. On the front of the device, you've got a screen where you can see your amplification levels and all the menu options. You've got two XLR input ports that are not combination, but just basic XLR ports. They feel pretty solid. Then you've got on the side, one of the sides of this cube-like thing, a USB-C port, and you've also got a micro SD card slot here. It's held together by some rubber. I'm not really a fan of this rubber thing. I would have preferred some kind of more durable hinge-like stuff, but whatever. You also got volume knob for the headphone port and a line out. And finally, you've got this power button and a Bluetooth adapter thing. By the way, I'm not going to use that Bluetooth thing because I don't even like smartphones. I just don't like smartphones. And you've got this on-off recording switch, which can also lock the device. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. On the bottom of the device, you have a battery door that can be used. Well, let me see if I can open it. It's a little bit tricky if you're doing it on video, but two AA batteries and a tripod socket right here. Okay, so now that we've gone over the physical, what are the strengths of the device? First of all, the most obvious one is that it is a 32-bit audio recorder with dual ADCs. So that means unless you're clipping your microphone, you're not going to be able to clip this device. It's not too useful in dialogue. It's a little bit useful, but if you're recording sound effects and you don't know how loud those effects are going to be, or you're recording something where you can't determine your levels ahead of time, the 32-bit float with dual ADCs is going to protect you from clipping. You can't clip the device basically under most normal circumstances. You've also got it powered by two AA batteries. Like I showed you earlier, two AA batteries, very useful, much more useful than a proprietary battery. And it's very easy to swap out the batteries too. It's also got a very simple menu interface. I'll turn the device on for you. You can also see, by the way, while I'm turning the device on, that it almost turns on instantly compared to the H4n Pro, which took a very long time to turn on. And the screen is very easy to read. And you've got, let me activate the menu for you, that's not the menu. Here's the menu. You've got a very basic menu system here. Not much stuff in it. All this device basically does is record. You don't have many other features besides stuff related to recording, which is also very nice. You've all got dual phantom power. So these XLR ports, you can control the phantom power to each of those individually, which is nice if you're using condenser microphone in one and a dynamic microphone in the other. The Zoom F3 can also function as an audio interface to your computer, which is quite nice because I do sometimes record stuff to my computer, and having that ability to record stuff to my computer is great. In that case, I should note that the device does operate either as a 32-bit float or 24-bit integer audio interface. But when you're just recording to the device, it's only 32-bit float. The line out is also pretty nice because if you want to feed the audio signal to your camera as a backup, you can also adjust the level of the line out. So that means you don't have to use one of these funny cables here that kind of attenuates the line out performance, and you can just adjust it on the device. Overall, the device is housed in a nice metal block. It's metal on this side and a little bit of plastic here, and it does feel very solid. So overall, I'm very happy with the build quality of the device. But now, let's get into the weaknesses of this device, which really kind of tells you about its character and whether it's going to be right for you. Okay, so a lot of people don't have a problem with the following thing I'm about to say, but I don't like the fact that audio recording has to be initiated with this switch where you push it back and forth. That's to lock the device, and if I push it the other way, it starts the recording. That's the only way to start a recording on the device. And I'm not really a fan of these switchy things because I think switches generally are not very durable. You know what? To turn the device on and off, you have to long press the power button. The short press of the power button does nothing. So I think it would be great to have a backup option to start and stop recording using a short press of the power button. That would give you a backup in case the switch gets full of dirt in a harsh environment or just breaks off or something. Because if the switch breaks off, you really can't use this device, which is actually kind of annoying. Another thing I don't like, and this is a little bit personal, it's the micro SD card slot. Now, I understand micro SD cards make this device a little bit more compact, but I would have preferred a normal SD card. Maybe they could have gotten rid of the Bluetooth interface because I don't even use Bluetooth, but I understand some people might use Bluetooth. But I would have preferred no Bluetooth and a regular SD card simply because I don't use micro SD cards for anything except the Zoom F3. But again, some people might not mind at all, and micro SD cards aren't that bad. So, the final weakness I got to talk about is the battery door. Let's take a look at this battery door here. Let me see if I can get it off on camera. Darn. Okay. Looks okay, right? But the battery door itself is thin and flimsy. And it goes on, but it doesn't go on with a nice snap. It's a little bit cheap feeling. It has a little bit of flex to it. So I really wish the battery door hadn't been made so flimsily because I can see it breaking off or having some problems in a more tense or harsh situation. I simply don't like it. For a device that cost about $400, I really think the battery door should have been made with a little bit better care. Overall conclusion, what do I think of the Zoom F3? Well, it's a pretty good audio interface. It sounds very good, and it basically works very well. It has a few minor things that I consider design flaws, like the record on and off switch and the battery door. But other than that, it's a pretty good device, so I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Zoom F3 32-bit audio recorder, and I'll see you again next time.